Welcome to another deep dive. This time, it seems like you're searching for some peace, in a world that feels like anything but peaceful, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we're going to dig into this note, which if you don't know Korean means new note.
Simple.
Exactly. Very simple. But it gets right to the point.
Right into it.
And, one of the things that struck me right away, especially in that Korean folktale at the beginning, it's like, it feels like we're all on this search for peace.
That's what resonated with me, too, for that search we're all on.
And the note doesn't shy away from the tough stuff either, right? It straight up acknowledges the darkness. Like that feeling of evil kind of just covering the world. Yeah.
But then it gives us this incredible message of hope.
Yes. It's not like it's dismissing the suffering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it takes it head on and uses that to show us like a deeper sense of peace.
Yeah. It's like it's saying, hey, even when things are really, really bleak, there's still that wellspring of hope inside us.
Waiting to be discovered, like in the folktale.
Exactly.
You've got this guy who's about to give up hope, and then someone reminds him, hey, the water you're looking for, it might be right beneath your feet.
You just got to dig.
Powerful. Wow.
So powerful. It's like it's saying that finding peace isn't about ignoring the darkness, or like escaping the world. It's about going inward, doing that inner work.
Digging.
That digging to uncover the strength and resilience that's already there inside.
Okay, I love this, but what does digging actually look like?
Right.
I mean, let's be real. The world feels pretty chaotic right now. Where do we even begin?
Yeah, well, the note points us towards some really practical steps, actually. It talks about spiritual practices, like daily scripture reading, particularly Psalm 23.
Okay, I'm curious about that. Why Psalm 23 specifically? There are so many verses about peace in the Bible. What makes this one stand out?
It's interesting, right? It's not just about peace. It's about finding peace in chaos. Remember those images? Like, he makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. Like even when everything around you is in turmoil, you can still access those moments of stillness.
Like inner sanctuaries?
Exactly. Reconnecting with peace and hope.
So you create those green pastures, those quiet waters mentally, even when you're in the thick of it.
Exactly. I love that.
That's powerful imagery. And it links back to that digging for the well,
Yes.
We're not just sitting around waiting for peace to show up.
Right.
We're actively creating the conditions for it to grow inside.
Okay, so we've got the scripture reading.
Yeah.
But the note doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
It also talks about gratitude journaling.
Oh, yeah. It's such a powerful way to change your perspective.
Totally.
To shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right.
So instead of just dwelling on the darkness all the time,
Right.
we can actually train our minds, to see the good, even amidst the challenges.
Those flickers of light.
Yes. Those little moments of grace that we might miss otherwise.
So it's like, it's simple, right? But it can make a big impact.
I think so. It's like instead of getting stuck in that negativity,
Yeah.
you're focusing on the wellspring of good within you and around you.
Okay, so we've got scripture reading, we've got gratitude journaling. The note also mentions meditation and deep breathing.
It does. Finding stillness, even if it's just for a few minutes every day, it's about quieting the mind,
Yeah.
to make space for a deeper connection to yourself and to something bigger.
Yeah, like we're so bombarded with information all the time.
Right.
And stimulation.
Constantly.
It's hard to just be still.
Exactly. We're always on edge.
Reacting.
Yeah. But the note says true peace. It comes from that place of stillness inside.
It's where we tap into that strength.
And resilience.
Okay, but what about when, even in our sleep, that peace is disrupted? The note mentions nightmares, and it says chanoya, which means even dreams lead to nightmares. I have to admit, that one kind of got to me.
It's a little haunting, isn't it?
It is.
Like, even when we're sleeping, our anxieties, they can still manifest
Right.
in unsettling ways.
Yeah.
It's like that darkness that we're trying to overcome. It seeps into our subconscious.
It's like even when we try to escape, it finds us.
Exactly. And it disrupts that peace we're trying to find.
Yeah.
Even when we're supposed to be resting.
It makes you wonder if those anxieties are coming up even when we're asleep, what can we do about it? I mean, nightmares, they can leave you feeling shaken
Yeah.
even after you wake up.
Well, the note suggests starting with prayerful surrender. It even gives an example, a really powerful one.
Okay.
It says, which translates to, God, fill my heart and dreams with your peace and let your peace come instead of nightmares.
So we're acknowledging that we don't have to carry that alone. We can turn to something bigger than ourselves for support. But for someone who, might not connect with that language of prayer, how else would they approach this idea of surrender?
I think it's about finding that source of strength and hope, that helps you release those anxieties, whether it's through meditation or connecting with nature or just talking to someone you trust. It's about letting go of what you can't control and trusting that you're going to be supported.
So it's not pretending the darkness doesn't exist.
Right.
But it's finding a way to navigate it without letting it, consume us.
Exactly. And along with that surrender, the note also talks about the importance of creating a peaceful sleep environment, like listening to calming music before bed or reading uplifting material, anything that helps you transition from, the busyness of the day.
Oh, I've heard about that. It's like you're signaling to your mind and body that it's time to unwind. Like, let go of the day's stress, but does it really work?
It's not magic, but it's about creating rituals that help calm your nervous system,
Okay.
Think about it like this. If you were trying to train a pet,
Right.
you wouldn't just expect them to know what to do, right? You create consistent routines and signals
Right.
to help them understand. It's similar with our minds and bodies.
Interesting. So by having a bedtime routine, you're basically training your mind to relax.
Exactly. You're associating those activities with peace, with relaxation, so it's easier to fall asleep without those anxieties creeping in.
Okay, so that's creating a peaceful environment. The note also emphasizes the power of visualization, right?
Yeah, it suggests imagining calming scenes before sleep, like, walking in a peaceful meadow.
That makes sense. If we're constantly bombarded with negativity and chaos all day long, it's no wonder that our dreams kind of reflect that. But if we're consciously choosing to focus on peaceful imagery, maybe our subconscious will kind of follow suit.
Exactly. You're proactively shaping your inner landscape,
Even in your sleep.
creating a better foundation for peace to grow.
So we've got scripture, gratitude, meditation, a peaceful sleep environment, even shaping our dreams. We're building a pretty good toolkit for cultivating inner peace.
Wow.
Anything else we can add to this, especially when the world outside feels, really overwhelming?
Well, there's one more. It's incredibly powerful. The note talks about community, connecting with others during challenging times, especially a faith community or trusted friends.
I mean, it's so easy to feel isolated when you're struggling,
Right.
but when you share those experiences with others, you feel seen, heard, supported.
Absolutely. And the note talks about how when you share prayers and experiences together, it amplifies those feelings of hope and resilience.
Yeah, it's like when we come together and we're all focused on peace, that energy, that collective energy, creates a ripple effect,
Yeah, it spreads outwards.
It's like you light a candle in a dark room and the light just keeps spreading.
Exactly. And when we come together with a shared hope and faith, we're creating a network of light, pushing back against the darkness that can feel so overwhelming.
Okay, so we've got this amazing foundation for finding peace, even when things are chaotic, nurturing that spiritual connection, practicing gratitude, finding moments of stillness, creating a peaceful sleep environment, and then tapping into the power of community.
It's holistic, right?
It is.
True peace. It's not just about what we do, it's about who we are, how we connect with ourselves, with others, with something bigger.
That's such a good way to put it. But this all seems to hinge on this idea of faith, of trusting in something bigger than ourselves. Is that really the key to finding peace in a world that feels so unpredictable and even sometimes cruel? It feels like we're kind of tiptoeing around a big question here. Yeah. What is faith? And how does it actually work?
That's the heart of it, isn't it? And the note, it doesn't try to oversimplify things. It acknowledges that faith. It's not just blind belief. It's not wishful thinking.
Right.
It's about actively engaging with something bigger than ourselves.
Okay, so it's not passive. It's not just hoping for the best. But what does that, active engagement actually look like?
Well, the note uses this really beautiful analogy of a shepherd guiding their flock.
Okay.
It's like that line from Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing.
Right.
But it's deeper than just feeling protected. It's about trusting that even when we can't see the path ahead, there's something guiding us towards something good.
That makes sense, especially when we're talking about finding peace, right? Because if we're constantly worried about the unknown, it's hard to feel any sense of calm.
Absolutely.
But if you can cultivate that trust, that faith that something is guiding you.
Yeah.
Maybe you can let go of some of that anxiety.
Exactly. It's not about knowing all the answers or having it all figured out.
Right.
It's about surrender.
To something bigger.
Yeah. Admitting that we don't have to carry the weight of the world alone.
I'm starting to see how this connects back to that digging for the well idea. It's not just about finding inner peace. It's about connecting to a source of strength and wisdom.
Yes.
That's like beyond our understanding.
And the note, it says something really powerful here.
Okay.
It says, hu joryo, ooh, ooh, e, yo, gyunyo, I guess. Okay. Break that down for me. What does that mean?
So it translates to whisper, help me, even once. That moment could be the turning point of your life.
Wow. That's a pretty bold statement.
It is.
It's like just admitting that you need help.
Yeah.
That can be a huge catalyst for change.
I think so. It's like we're not meant to go through this alone.
Right.
There's power in being vulnerable and admitting that we need support, whether it's from a higher power or a community or just someone we trust.
It's like taking that first step towards the well.
Even if you're not sure what you'll find when you get there.
And, the note says that this connection to something bigger, it's available to everyone. It doesn't matter what your background is or your beliefs.
It's not about a specific religion. It's
Right.
about something more universal.
Exactly. It's about that human need to connect, to find meaning, to find something that transcends all the chaos.
This is making me think about those people who radiate peace, even when things are tough.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they've tapped into something
They have.
that gives them this sense of calm and purpose that goes beyond, what's happening around them.
I think you're right. It's not that they don't experience challenges.
Right.
It's that they have this source of strength, this resilience
Yeah.
that helps them get through it, and sometimes even with joy.
So it's not about pretending everything is okay.
No.
It's about finding that inner light that can shine even brighter when things are dark.
Exactly. And the note says that this inner light, this wellspring of peace, it's not something you have to earn.
Right.
It's already there, inside you, just waiting to be discovered.
Okay, but if it's already there, why is it so hard to find? Why do we get so caught up in the chaos? Why do we forget about that inner peace?
I think it's because we're constantly being told that we need to do more, be more, achieve more. It's easy to lose touch with what matters.
So it's about tuning out that external noise.
Yeah.
And tuning into that inner voice, that sense of knowing that leads us toward peace.
I think so. It's about making your inner landscape a priority, nurturing that connection to something bigger, whether it's through prayer or meditation or spending time in nature or just being present.
We've been talking a lot about inner peace, but the note also talks about action, about bringing that peace outward.
Oh, that's important. It's not just about cultivating peace for ourselves. It's about being a beacon of light for other people.
I love that. It's like those ripples we were talking about.
Yeah.
When you choose kindness and compassion, those actions, they create a ripple effect that goes way beyond just you.
They do. And the note even quotes Romans 12.21 here.
Okay.
It says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good."
Powerful.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we have a choice.
In how we respond to the darkness.
Right.
So it's not about ignoring the problems.
Right.
It's about choosing to be a force for good, to bring light into the darkness, even if it's in small ways.
Yes. And the note says that these acts of goodness, they don't just impact others, they actually transform us.
Oh, wow.
It deepens our connection to our own humanity,
Yeah.
to our own capacity for love and compassion.
It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
If we want to bring peace into the world, we got to cultivate it within ourselves first.
It's a cycle, isn't it?
It is.
Inner peace leads to action, which then makes that inner peace stronger.
So we're talking about a way of being that's both deeply personal, but also really interconnected.
I think so. It's about recognizing that we're all connected and that our actions, they matter, even the small ones.
This has been such a profound exploration of faith.
Yeah.
And how it connects to finding peace.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm still stuck on that question from earlier.
Which one?
What are we waiting for? Why is it so hard to just take that first step toward the well, to whisper, help me, and open ourselves up to that source of peace and strength?
That is a good question. It deserves some real reflection, you know? Maybe it's because we're afraid of what we'll find. Or maybe we're scared of change. Or maybe we just don't know where to begin.
Or maybe we're afraid to admit that we need help in the first place.
Could be.
It's hard to let go of control, to say, I don't have all the answers.
That's true. But I think this note is inviting us to do just that, to let go of that fear and to embrace that vulnerability, to ask for help, and to trust that we're not alone on this journey.
It feels like the conversation is shifting.
How so?
It's like we've moved from talking about these ideas to actually feeling them, feeling that connection and support.
I think you're right. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's a whole other thing to really experience it.
And I have a feeling this is just the beginning of this exploration. There's so much more to uncover, so much more to experience.
I agree. This note, it's like a starting point for a much deeper journey.
Yeah.
One that takes us past just, the intellectual ideas and into a real lived experience of peace.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step on this journey?
Well, I think the note kind of gives us some hints. It talks about actually putting these practices into our daily lives. It's not just a one-time thing.
Right.
You have this big realization about peace and that's it.
Yeah.
It's about making it a part of who you are.
Little by little.
Exactly. Thread by thread. And the note says this includes not just, our inner world, but our outer world too.
Yeah. Our actions, how we treat other people.
So it's not about hiding away from the world to find peace.
Yeah.
You bring it with you. You take it everywhere you go. It's like you become peace.
Yeah. You radiate it.
And that's where those tools come in. The note keeps reminding us that these aren't just ideas.
Right.
We have to actually use them.
Okay, so we've got our toolkit, but how do we actually do that? I mean, life gets busy, right? How do we find the time and energy to, cultivate peace when there's so much going on?
The note actually starts by talking about rest. There's even a quote from Exodus 31.12 out.
Yeah.
It says, on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed.
It's so easy to feel guilty about taking time for yourself. You should always be doing something.
Yeah.
But the note's saying that rest, it's not just about recharging. It's actually crucial for our spiritual well-being.
It is. It's about honoring that need to renew yourself. We remember that saying?
Yeah.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
And sometimes that means just stepping away from everything.
In being.
And speaking of being, the note also talks about nature as a source of peace. There's something about being in nature that just grounds you. It reminds you that you're part of something so much bigger.
Yeah, you're connected to something ancient, timeless. It puts things into perspective.
It does. It helps you reconnect with that sense of wonder.
Like when you look up at the stars.
Yes.
Or stand at the edge of the ocean.
Awe-inspiring.
It is. So we've got rest, nature, community, and that connection to something bigger than ourselves. That wellspring of hope and strength that we keep coming back to. It feels like we have everything we need, right?
We do. And the note says, even when you feel completely lost or alone, the darkness is just too much, you're never truly abandoned.
That's a really good reminder. It's like knowing that even if you fall, there's a hand reaching out to help you back up.
Yeah, a light guiding you back to the path.
And it comes back to that whisper, right?
Help me.
Exactly. Admitting that you need support. Being open to something beyond what you understand.
It's like taking a leap of faith. Even if you can't see the net, trusting that something will catch you.
That's a beautiful way to put it, trusting that you're supported. So this deep dive, it's been an incredible exploration of peace, both as a feeling inside and as a way of being in the world.
It has.
We've uncovered so much.
So much wisdom. And practical guidance, too.
Exactly. So to you listening, I hope you feel, ready to take a step, even a small one, toward creating that peace in your own life.
And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect.
It's about progress. Start small.
Be consistent.
Be kind to yourself.
That peace you're looking for, it's already inside you.
Just waiting
to be discovered.
And on that note, that's a wrap for this deep dive. Until next time, keep searching, keep growing, and keep believing.